Welcome, explorers, to Beyond Earth. Get ready for a journey to the deepest, darkest, hottest parts of our planet. Ever heard of an animal that wears a suit of real iron armor? Lives next to volcanic vents hotter than an oven? And get this, doesn't even need to eat? Prepare to have your minds blown, because today we're meeting the most metal creature on Earth, the volcano snail. The insane biology of the volcano snail. Alright team, let's get straight to it. The volcano snail, scientifically known as Chrysomallon squamiferum, try saying that 5 times fast, is one of the most unconventional animals you'll ever encounter. And why is it so special? Well, for starters, its shell isn't made of your typical calcium carbonate. No, it's made of iron. And its feet? They're studded with iron bits too. Can you even imagine a snail clanking around in metal armor? The name Chrysomallon squamiferum is pretty cool too. Chrysomallon comes from ancient Greek for golden hair, referring to the golden glint of pyrite, or fool's gold, and iron sulfide compound in its shell. And squamiferum? That's Latin for bearing scales, a nod to those iron pieces on its foot, called sclerites. These scaly-foot snails, as they're often nicknamed, or sometimes sea pangolins, live in some of the most extreme conditions imaginable. Hydrothermal vents miles below sea level. These vents spew out scalding hot, mineral-rich water. Talk about an extreme home. How do you think they survive this fiery, high-pressure environment? Pause for thought. Well, they've adapted by literally encasing themselves in iron. These creatures are like living relics. Their awe-inspiring features, this iron integration used to be pretty common way back. We're talking 500 million years ago. The volcano snail belongs to a very small family of gastropods called Peltospiridae. So small, it has no subfamilies. And they're part of an order of deep-sea snails known as Neomphalida. Living near these hydrothermal vents for millions of years has profoundly influenced their physical traits, and even how they get their food. Mineralized iron and sulfur have literally infused their shells and bodies. Now, here's a mind-bender. While volcano snails are the only animals on Earth today with this incredible iron skeleton feature, it was a fairly common physical trait during the Cambrian epoch, about 540 million years ago. Because of this iron-clad armor, they can withstand those harsh temperatures and extremely high pressures. Studies of their genes have revealed something astonishing. The genes controlling their scaly foot and shell haven't evolved much in the last 540 million years. That means these genes are incredibly ancient, predating even that. To cope with this extreme life, volcano snails also developed unusually large hearts, making up about 4% of their body volume. And they have an impressively large gill. Why such a supersized system? Pause. It's all to provide enough oxygen for the endosymbiotic bacteria living in their stomach, which, as we'll see, are crucial for their survival. The family Peltospiridae, which our volcano snail belongs to, first appeared in the fossil record during the Eocene epoch, between 47.8 and 41.3 million years ago. So, while the trait of iron in skeletons is ancient, this specific family line is a bit more recent in geological terms. The volcano snail truly has one of the most unique and, frankly, bizarre bodies in the animal kingdom. Think about it. The only animal species whose body is made of mineralized iron. Living miles deep, it's subjected to intense atmospheric pressure and heat up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. That's over 400 degrees Celsius. It has adapted by forming a body that can withstand and protect it. Let's talk about that shell. It's a 3-layered marvel. 1. The outer layer. This is where the iron sulfides come in. It's the only animal whose skeleton possesses this substance. It's about 30 micrometers thick and black. 2. The middle layer. This is a thick, brown, waterproof organic layer, like the periostracum found in other gastropods. It's made of proteins and is crucial for cushioning. This tough layer protects against physical stress, like a crab trying to crush it, and also helps disperse excess heat. Pretty smart, huh? 3. The inner layer. This is creamy white, thanks to aragonite, a form of calcium carbonate. The shell opening is elliptical. And the foot? It's one of its most characteristic features. Hundreds of those iron sclerites, each 1 to 5 millimeters long, reinforce its sides. These are hard, calcified pieces of mineralized iron, with soft tissue at each one's core, and an outermost layer of iron pyrite sulfides. These sclerites give the snail's foot that distinctive scaly appearance, hence its nickname, Scaly-foot gastropod. The exact function of these sclerites is still a bit of a mystery, but we do know the snail's body itself is red. Internally, the volcano snail is just as weird and wonderful. We mentioned its really big heart, and we don't mean its kindness. Remember, for percent of its body volume, compare that to the human heart, which is only about 0.3% of our body volume. That's a huge difference. Now, for the digestive system. It's simple and seems underdeveloped. Zoologists believe it doesn't actually eat in the traditional sense. So, how does it get energy? It depends on those endosymbiotic bacteria we mentioned earlier. The snail has a massive esophageal gland where these bacteria live. It also has a stomach, a reduced intestine, and an anus just above the genital opening. But guess what it doesn't have? Eyes or tentacles. Information about their behavior is scarce, mainly because their deep-sea vent habitat is so tough to study. They live in the Indian Ocean, interacting with other vent creatures, including venomous snails and crabs who actually prey on them. It's unclear if they live a solitary life, but it's possible, especially since they are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. So they don't necessarily need to find a mate to reproduce. Volcano snails lead a sedentary lifestyle because they partner with those endosymbiotic bacteria for all their nutritional needs. They don't need to hunt. Their digestive system is poorly developed anyway, so they're not active hunters. Here's a fun fact to really bake your noodle. Volcano snails do not need to eat food to survive. Sounds impossible, right? But it's perfectly normal for them. After their larval stage, they become obligate symbiotrophs. This means they get all their nourishment not from feeding, but from those endosymbiotic bacteria. These bacteria are chemoautotrophs. They make their own food through a process called chemosynthesis, using chemicals from the vents. That esophageal gland housing the bacteria? It's about 1,000 times bigger than in other snails, just to accommodate its tiny tenants. Its stomach also contains pellets, likely sulfur granules made by the bacteria to detoxify hydrogen sulfide. So where on, or rather under Earth, are these critters found? Volcano snails are endemic to specific hydrothermal vent fields in the Indian Ocean, near places like Mauritius. They reside on deep ocean ridges, roughly 1.5 to 1.8 miles below sea level, under severe atmospheric pressure. We've found them in 3 main locations: the Longqi vent field, the Kairai vent field, and the Solitaire vent field. The main difference between these spots is the iron concentration in the environment. Because these locations are so inaccessible, getting detailed info is tough, but the Chrysomallon squamiferum population at the Longqi vent field is reportedly teeming. Like many snail species, the volcano snail is a simultaneous hermaphrodite. This means it has both male and female sexual reproductive organs fully functional at the same time. In fact, it's the only species in the family Peltospiridae known to be like this. And yes, they can practice self-fertilization. They lay eggs that don't depend on the mother for nutrients after laying. They rely solely on a yolk sac. These eggs are also negatively buoyant, meaning they're heavier than water and sink. They might have a larval or planktonic stage after hatching, but due to their rarity and restricted range, the intricate details of their reproductive life cycle are still under research. Their lifespan, also unknown, but typical sea snails can survive for up to 10 years or more. Unfortunately, volcano snails don't do well in aquarium environments, typically surviving only about 3 weeks. This makes them incredibly difficult to study. In their deep-sea hydrothermal habitat, the scaly-foot gastropod doesn't have many natural predators, but it does have a couple. Those other venomous snails and crabs. The volcano snail's shell seemingly protects it, but it can still be harmed or killed by these assailants, who not only prey on it but also compete with it for living space. What an absolutely mind-boggling creature, wouldn't you agree? From its iron armor to its symbiotic lifestyle, the volcano snail truly pushes the boundaries of what we thought life could be. And that's our deep dive into the insane biology of the volcano snail. It just goes to show, our planet still holds so many secrets, especially in its most extreme corners. What part of its biology did you find most astonishing? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey to the abyss, please smash that like button, and most importantly, subscribe to Beyond Earth and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the weird and wonderful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.